everyone, today I am here to talk about A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. This is the second book in A Court of Thorns and Roses trilogy, and I have so much to talk about, so let's get right into it. If you didn't know, this was my favorite book of last year. I loved it. So to say I was anticipating this one would be a huge and vast understatement. So I am so happy it came out, and I'm so happy it is so huge. Look at the difference. So if you don't know what A Court of Thorns and Roses is about, it's kind of a very loosely based retelling on Beauty and the Beast. It's a girl named Farah who lives in poverty, and there's this wall that divides the mortal lands into like the fairy lands, which is called Plithorin. I will probably pronounce everything wrong, by the way, so don't scold me. I apologize. Farah has to hunt for her family in order to provide them with food and stuff. And one day she kills a fairy beast, and fairy by the name of Tamlin comes over and steals Farah and takes her as a bargain, you know, as a price, you know, a life for a life, since Farah killed a fairy. And so she's brought over in the fairyland into the spring court, and it's all about fairies and their worlds and just amazingness, and it is so good. I will say one thing about this series. It is a very steamy series. Like, if you were young, I would not recommend reading this. It has a lot of adult language. It has a lot of adult situations with, you know, sexual stuff and stuff like that. So if you're younger, maybe steer away from this. I just want to forewarn you before you go into this series, just to let you know. But like I said, it's so good. Character development's amazing. Steaminess is amazing. Everything about it is amazing. So overall, I love this book. This had no second book slump at all, because some series do. This one was amazing, even better than the first one, honestly, in my opinion. And I love that one so much. So it was so awesome. I loved everything that happened in it, and I'm surprised, honestly, that I did, which I will get into more detail later, but it's spoilers. But overall, 5 out of 5. I just, give me more. I just devoured this, and I tried to read it slow. Like, you know, when a book is so good, you're loving it so much that you know you could finish it in a night, but you're like, I need to take my time with this, to digest it slowly, to just let it seep into my core. That's how I was with this book. So it took me like a week to read, because I was just so, I didn't want it to end, and I was so sad when it ended. Now I'm in like this huge perpetual, you know, hangover, as amazing books do to you. But I need the last book now. So that's all I'm going to talk about for non-spoilers. So if you haven't read this book, you can't watch any further, but when you do finish it, come on back and we'll chat about it, because I just want to chat all about it. So guys, I'm proud of myself. I wrote some notes on my phone because I have so many things to say. So this pretty much takes place right after A Court of Thorns and Roses. Like, I will say, give or take a few months maybe, or like maybe I'd say at most like 5 months. So it's pretty much within the year of Court of Thorns and Roses. And we see Farah very differently. Farah is broken, and she's bruised, and she has given up so much of herself, and, you know, killed these people for Tamlin. And her love for Tamlin is a little less because of that, because she sacrificed so much for him. And will probably be scatterbrained, so I just want to say that. Tamlin, I really loved Tamlin in the first book. I was very on Team Tamlin, and then of course we get introduced to the character Rhys. Is that how you say his name? I'm just gonna call him Rhys. Rice. Is it Rice or Rhys? Rhys. We're gonna call him Rhys. I hope that is right. Probably not. But I could immediately see in the first book, when he was introduced, that something was happening, that it was definitely going to progress, and I was very against that in the first book. I was like, no, why? Why does Sarah J. Maas do this? She makes this amazing character, this amazing romance, and she's just another guy, and it's like a battle war, and I don't like that, because usually with ships and stuff like that, I'm very much on one side, and I stand on one side, and I very rarely cross to the other side. I'm like a diehard fan. But I'm Team Rhys now. I think Sarah J. Maas wrote it where you have to be in this book, because of just things that you learn. So we see a new side of Tamlin. We saw in the first book that he is very kind of possessive, very protective, wants to keep her safe, and you like that a little bit in the first book, but things are changed. Farah has given up so much of herself. She's done a lot of things for him, and she is now a fairy now, a fae, and she has the power of the 7 High Lords in her. So girl's got power, and she needs to harness that power. She needs to train with that power, but Tamlin does not want to even let her even leave the house, let her go explore the spring court, because she's afraid she might get scooped up. He wants to keep her locked in, and it's just like, that's a little bit too possessive, you know? You're just like, you know, let her, she's a powerful girl. She needs to learn how her powers, not just keep them away, because big things are happening, and she's going to need to use those. So, you know, immediately from the very first 100 pages, you're kind of turning against Tamlin, because you see how possessive and how, you know, how he's just trying to like shut her in this spring court and not let anybody talk to her, not let her explore, not let her learn her powers, just, you know, let her just kind of rot away almost. So in this book we get introduced to several more courts, but more specifically the Night Court and how amazing it is. So Rhys is the High Lord of the Night Court, and we get to learn about the city called Valrasis. Valrasis? I don't know, I pronounce things so bad. But how the beautiful city of starlight and just darkness, but the night, it was so beautiful the way she wrote it and how you were just taken there, and it was just amazing. So we learned so much more about Rhys. You know, in the first book he was a very hard guy. He, you know, had to put up fronts, and you learn why he had to do all that, what he had to do to protect the people that he loves, the city that he loves, you know, his people, and it's just, you fall in love with him and the amazingness that he is. And I was like, Rhys, I love you. Like, why did I ever doubt you? We're so amazing. So I loved learning about his backstory, how he came to power, how he had to sacrifice so much to protect everything that he loves, and it was just amazing, and amazing all about it. And with that, we get to see, like, you know, his friends of the Night Court. We have Moore, we have Cassian, and we have Aswell and Armand, and they're just amazing. I love the growth with them. They were just fun. I loved how they really embraced Farah, and it was just amazing. And we learned that Rhys and Tamlin couldn't be more opposite. Whereas Tamlin wants to keep Farah locked up and away, Rhys is, you know, very much in the position of Farah's her own person. She can make her own decisions. You know, she should learn how to use that power because she's got so much power. And I love that about him, because I feel like when you're with somebody, you are together as one, but you're also two separate people. You have your own decisions to make. That's how it should be. So, you know, Rhys just was amazing, and I don't know why I didn't like him in the first book. I'm mad at myself, honestly. So with that, we learn all about the Night Court, all about the stuff. Then we learn this whole war is coming. The King of Hybern really wants to destroy Plithrin, wants to tear down that wall, wants to just destroy everything in its power. And we learn that we have to do a couple things to prevent that. They also think that he's bringing back Jurian. I think that's how you pronounce his name. So we have to get 2 of the living books, I think that's what you call them, and they're 2 different pieces of the book to put together. One's in the Summer Court, one's with the Mortal Queens. And so we have to get those 2 books to nullify the power of the cauldron, which they suspect that the king is going to resurrect Jurian back. So that's our whole mission of the book, is to get these 2 pieces of the book, to go to the cauldron, to nullify the powers of it, and to eliminate, you know, a little less war than what we were intending. So I love the adventure of this book. There was so much adventure. It was so amazing. I loved going to the Summer Court. Like, every time I read about a court, like I remember when I first read about Spring Court, I was like, that's my court. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. And I like the Night Court, but I'm just not a night person. That's how I am. I'm more of a day, morning person. But when we went to Summer Court, I was like, that's my heart right there, with the beaches and the turquoise and the shells, and I was like, I need to be in this court. That's my heart. I love the ocean. But then I'm like, where is the Autumn Court? I don't know. That could put up some money, but I love the Summer Court. I love Tarquin. I really felt like we could trust him, but it sucks that we had to, you know, steal something out from under him, but I love that whole thing. There's so many adventures, you know, her going to steal that thing in that house. That was so nerve-wracking. Them stealing the book. That was nerve-wracking. So many amazing adventures that my heart was literally on edge. I was like, I don't know if we're gonna do this. And Farah learning her powers, it was so amazing seeing how she has a slice of each individual High Lord in her. She has the summer with like the water and stuff, then she has the shape-shifting, then she has, you know, the winnowing and the night stuff from Rhys. She has so many different powers. She's so powerful. Like people, like, they need to watch out because she can destroy you. So let's talk about the mating thing. So in the first book, I think everyone pretty much knew at the end with Rhys looking at Farah, you could tell that he had mated with her, and you know that was his mate. And I was wondering if that was going to come into play in this book, and it eventually did, and I'm so happy it did, because guys, this book got so steamy. It was so good. I loved how they came to be, and they have such an amazing relationship where they really help each other, but yet they are still their own people, you know, like he trusts her. She's like, I'm gonna go out and I want to fight. You're not gonna keep me locked up. And he's like, you know, that's, you know, you go for it, girl. You can do it. You're powerful. I got you. And I love that bond that they had, that they can, you know, through that bargain, they could really listen to each other and tell each other's thoughts and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, him teaching her about reading and then her, you know, locking up her mind. It was just, it's amazing. They are amazing as a couple. I'm just so happy. I don't know why I didn't like them in the first book, because, you know, I don't know. I just... And the end, guys, let's talk about the end. The end where they go to get the cauldron and they learn that Jurian's already resurrected and the king has made a bargain with friggin' Tamlin. You never want to punch anybody more in your friggin' life than Tamlin. You're just like, what are you doing here? Learn that he's made this bargain with the king where he's like, you know, yeah, you can take your troops through my land and so I can get Farrah back. Like, really? And then we learn that that freaking horrible priestess girl, Ithan, whatever her name is, has betrayed Tamlin as well and told the king where Farrah's sisters are. And then Farrah's sisters get stuck in the cauldron and they become Fae. And then immediately her sister, one of her sisters, I forget her name, gets mated with Lucian. And you're just like, how can this get any more crazy? Because everything was going to hell in a handbasket, quite literally. They decided, you know, to act like her and Rhys were never together, like this was just, you know, he put a spell on her and that she was like, you know, break the bond, break it, you know, and she was begging to Tamlin to take her home, and that was the only way she could keep everyone safe. And I was like, Farrah is such an amazing, strong person. Like, she just... It was amazing. But then, and then you're like, no, you finally got together. Now you're splitting up. Like, no. And then you learn that she has been inducted as the High Lady of the Night Court. So she is just not his wife. She's not his mate. She's the High Lady of the Night Court. She has just as much power as he does. And their bond is so deep that they probably can't, like, do the actual thoughts, but they can, like, put their feelings towards each other. And I'm just like... And then the end with her going and Tamlin's like, I'm sorry. And she's like, it's okay. I want to be involved. And she's like, I'm going to break everything that any plans you have, they're done. I'm going to destroy you. And Lucian knows, but Lucian can't say anything because he's made it to her sister. And it's just, what? Like, I cannot wait for the third book because it is going to be freaking amazing. Like, this book was full of so much adventure, so much love, so much romance, steaminess, just everything, character development. It was so amazing. Sarah J. Maas, like, her books, man, her books wrap me in and will not let me go, and I love it so much. Like, I will be very sad the day where she takes more than a couple years breaks because I can't handle that. I need more books of her in my life. Like, the thought of even having to wait till September 5th, Throne of Grass series, I can't handle that. The thought of waiting this till next year, I can't handle that. It was so good, so amazing. I know there's tons more that I didn't say, but I loved it so much. I loved the ending, how it left like kind of on a cliffhanger, but you know what's going to happen. You know that this war is going to happen, and Farrah's really going to, you know, break, you know, be the spy within, break it from within. You know, she's going to put on this full act, and it's going to be amazing. And I can't wait to see what happens, especially with, you know, her and Rhys. What's Tamlin going to do? Because you're like, Tamlin's a jerk, but I still feel like I have a soft spot for him, you know. Yes, he's done a lot of horrible things, but I see that he loves Farrah, but I also see that the love that he has for her is not a very good love. It's very protective, very harsh type of, I'm going to lock you up and never let anybody touch you or never let you go outside the world kind of love, which is not a very good love. It's suffocating love, you know. So, but I still feel like he's a good person deep within, even though they've done bad things. Every character in this book has really done bad things, but I mean, I don't want him with Farrah at all, no, but I feel like I want him to redeem himself, you know, to finally do the right thing and to be the bigger person. So I'm hoping that his character won't get 100% decimated. I mean, he pretty much got decimated in this book, but I want him to have to redeem himself, to be on the right side of the fight, to do the right thing, to let Farrah go, because there's nothing he can do about that. You know, when you mate with somebody, that's done. If you have any thoughts on this book, please let me know. I would love to talk about this book with you. I loved it so much. I'm so sad I haven't finished it. I haven't read this series. You just need to. You need to. I hope in the next book we get to visit the other courts. We've been to, you know, the Spring Court. We've been to the Night Court. We've been to the Court of Nightmares. We've been to the Summer Court. I really want to go to the Day Court and the Autumn Court. Oh my gosh. And I know there's several other ones I'm forgetting. The Winter Court. Is that one? Have we been there? I don't think so. I want to go to all the other courts. I want to see what it's like because she just paints the picture so beautifully that you just imagine you're there. And take me to the Court of Summer right now, please. I know this is a long video. I apologize, but I had so much to say. So let me know what you thought about it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.
Say hello to the world unknown that you will meet in your dreams. Say goodbye.